Greetings, my fellow fright fiends. It's your buddy Boogeyman Ben here for a new episode of Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone, and today's video is a movie review. This is a movie review I've been wanting to do for a while. It's on a movie that I wanted to watch a while ago, but it was only available on DirecTV, and I don't have DirecTV. But over the course of the last couple weeks, it's become available on Amazon Prime, and that's where I watched it. And the movie is called Leatherface. It is a prequel to the original Tobe Hooper classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just an amazing film. The overall concept was to show how Leatherface became Leatherface. So I got my notes right here and just talk a little bit about who made the film and who stars in it. So I don't want to give away too much of the plot because it will kind of bring to light, what the initial movie is about. But it takes place several decades before the events of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So the movie deals with an escape from a mental asylum. This group of people, they kidnap this young nurse. It's her first day on the job. One of the inmates that escapes is a young Leatherface, and it's pretty much a road trip movie, and it leads to how Leatherface became what he became. With the cast, you have Stephen Dorff as Hal Hartman, you have Lily Taylor as Verna, you have Sam Strike as Jackson, Vanessa Grasset as Lizzie, Sam Coleman as Bud, Jessica Madsen as Clarice, and James Bloor as Ike. The movie was written by Seth M. Sherwood, and the movie was directed by Alexandre Bustillo and Julian Mari. I know a lot of fans of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film that are not fans of this film. They don't like the direction that it went. They don't like the initial reveal of who Leatherface is or how Leatherface became to be. I enjoyed the film. I didn't love the film. It's probably one on the weaker side of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films that I've seen. That being said, there are things about the film that I really, really did enjoy. Well, one thing, Stephen Dorff, I love him in films, and I'm glad to see him starting to do more. He's almost like the major villain, if you want to call him that, in the film, one of the major villains in the film. But I really enjoyed his performance in this, as I did Lily Taylor. I think she's a fantastic actress. I think she was so great in this film. She was also great in The Conjuring, of course, but I've seen her in many things before that, but she just brings her A game to everything she does. I really kind of liked that it was different. That was one thing I did kind of like about, the setup, that this isn't just a typical Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, where people stumble upon the Sawyer's property, things like that we've seen in the past films, that this was a little bit more of almost like a psychotic road trip movie. There was lots of similarities between like natural born killers and things like that sort of mixed into the film. I thought that was really well done. I also thought it was directed really well. Also, the film is very brutal film. Lots of really graphic violence. Some of it really was shocking. I was surprised that it went as far as it did. But, that's what you come to expect from a film in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, franchise. I don't want to reveal too much because I feel like I'll give some of the plot away. But the two characters that I thought they were good, but sometimes it was gone a little too far, and it kind of took focus off of what the main point of the movie was. I felt like the whole thing with the Sawyers kind of got lost in terms of, who that family is. They're really not in the film very much. And then you have the characters of Clarice and Ike, and they're insane. It felt like the focus was so much on them that you forgot what the overall purpose of the film was. And the overall purpose was to show how Leatherface became what he became. And I felt like the film started like that really well. And then it kind of got lost in the middle a little bit of, where it was supposed to be going, what you were supposed to be, who you were supposed to be caring for. And I think that kind of is a stumbling block a little bit for it, or at least it was for me. It's revealed that Verna Sawyer has married a man of wealth, because of course she's trying to get her son out of the mental institution. That plot point wasn't really necessary in the film because it has nothing to do with the franchise. There's never any mention of it in the other films. So I don't know why that was necessary in this one. Plus it totally contradicts of where the Sawyer clan is in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I didn't understand why that was actually added in. The other thing that's going to throw people off, and it threw me off a little bit, the reveal of who Leatherface is. You kind of anticipate who you think it is, just based on the characters as they're introduced. Of course, they're introduced with different names, so you don't know who Leatherface is. And then the reveal is kind of, you're kind of like, really? Because based on what we know about Leatherface and the initial way that Gunnar Hansen played him and the way that he was written for the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, it doesn't really work. I kind of appreciate it that it was kind of something where you anticipated it being one character and then it's not that character. It was kind of weak who the character ended up being. And I don't know, it's like I think I want to give it another chance, watch it again. I didn't hate it. I thought there was some great imagery in it. But in the end, it's probably on the weaker side of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. But I did appreciate this film. It is one that I will add to my collection. It's nowhere near as bad as Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, which I think is complete crap. I think people should check this out. You might, I think a lot of Leatherface purists are probably going to hate the execution. But I have to, give it up to the filmmakers and the writer. They tried something different. And I think that, sometimes with these franchises, sometimes, people want to, shake things up a little bit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. If I had to give this one a rating on my scale, I would give Leatherface 2017, I would give it 2.5 skulls. So that is my rating of Leatherface, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel. I'm curious what other people think about it. If you've seen it, please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Please no spoilers, because I don't know if everybody's seen it yet. I know a lot of people have been doing reviews about it, but please no spoilers. I would really appreciate that. And I have several more horror movie reviews coming up in the next week, and I hope everyone looks forward to those. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace.